Hey everybody, welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. Alright, it's been a minute since I've been on here, and I apologize for that, but I wanted to come back on and share with you how I finished out this little folio that I had started and then turned it into a junk journal. So if you've been watching my channel, you might have seen a few of the videos where I received a box from Your Creative Studio. I used two different boxes to decorate the prior pages in this little folio. The folio itself is something I just had created from some grocery paper bags. So I don't really go into the actual creation of that in this video. If that's something that you're interested in, I had actually done that on my own prior to even filming this little series. But if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Leave a comment, and maybe I can put something together like that as a future video for you guys. But basically, I just had some extra paper bag. I don't think it was even a full paper bag, but obviously put the designed part inside so that only the brown paper was showing. It's kind of crudely put together, as you can kind of see there in the upper left corner on the right side. It's a little patched together, but I made it fold into 4 different kind of sections and then sewed around each, I guess, page of it. So it's a bit thick. It's two-sided, so there's some sturdiness there, but it's easily opened and closed as far as turning the pages go. So I had already decorated all the other pages except for this one spread was left over. So what I decided to do was kind of combine those two Your Creative Studio boxes that I had used to decorate the other pages with into this one spread here, so that it would kind of bring everything together. So that's kind of what you're watching me do here. I'm just kind of putting the pink color was from the sewing themed one, and the more purple color was from the first box that I got. That that was more of the purple roses, and then that actually had some snowflakes on it. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head which boxes those were from, what months, but from last year. So yeah, and then I still have a bunch of my scraps on the desk there that I'm gonna kind of pick from here and just kind of bring it all together, similar to what I had done on previous pages. You can kind of get a little glimpse of that there on the left. I'll go through the whole thing at the very end of this video so that you can get, if this is the first time that you're seeing it, kind of get a better idea of the whole thing. But part of that Your Creative Studio box had the little pages with the different flowers on it, which is what I put in the bottom of the left side of this spread. And so I wanted to kind of incorporate that. These are some ephemera that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's the Hobby Lobby's brand, and just, you know, vintage turn of the century kind of imagery here. I'm just kind of flipping through trying to decide maybe what might work with what I've got. So kind of bringing in some of the sewing, I guess, from the other pages, possibly. I don't know. I kind of wanted this spread to, like I said before, kind of pull it all together, because the other pages were very obviously either sewing or just the roses. And this one I thought I can play a little bit more with it. Yeah, I really liked the idea of using a frame, and I was just trying to play with different ways of incorporating that frame onto that page potentially. I am going to turn that right hand side into a little tuck spot there, or a little. That page is going to have that tuck spot on the right hand side, but I wanted to collage behind that so that it wasn't all just brown paper, and again wanted to incorporate more from the Your Creative Studio boxes that I got. And this page actually was, that little green slip of paper actually did come in one of those boxes. That there that I just put down was tea-dyed tracing paper, which if you tea-dye your own papers, get yourself some tracing paper and tea-dye it because it's magical. It's awesome. You can see through it. It's very thin. Makes a great page in a journal. Makes great collaging material. Like, I absolutely love it. You can't really see it here, but if you had put that on top of like some text from a book page, you can see the text through there. It's really cool. So yeah, you can do a lot of really cool things with tracing paper that's been tea-dyed. And of course, it's got that great crinkly, you know, sound and look. It looks old. It's just, yeah, it's really cool. And it's matte. The paper that I have is matte. It's not shiny or anything. So even more so, loving it. But okay, so I just pasted down that tuck spot. And so now I'm going to go back over here and work on the left-hand side of this page. That paper actually, as you can see, was sticker paper. And I remembered from the prior pages working in that sticker did not really want to stick to the paper bag material very well. So made sure and put some glue down there so, so it doesn't go anywhere. And then, yeah, just kind of putting my collage together here. This piece is also going to be a tuck spot, so I just glued the top and right hand side so that then I can tuck something up into there. And now, yeah, I'm just kind of figuring out the rest of my little collage. What ink color I'm using for this whole folio junk journal is, it's called, I think, Storm Cloud. I don't think they make it anymore, but it's a Ranger stamp pad. It's basically dark gray, really dark gray. So there's some pieces from some book pages that I had, just some scraps. So just kind of incorporating those, getting a bit more color onto the page that just, I think, adds some more depth to everything and interest. Really loving that dark mauve magenta color. So definitely want to incorporate that. But yeah, now I'm just covering that up. So we're gonna have to try something different there. But definitely want to glue this piece down and this second piece as well. And then I'm going to figure out something different to put there. And spoiler alert, it's not going to be the crown or that pedestal. I'm actually going to use this clock. I really liked how that looked. So I went ahead and inked around that one, and we're just going to leave the background be some of that brown paper from the paper bag, because why not? That's our surface material, and let's celebrate it. So now moving on to the journaling cards that I'm going to use to tuck up into these two tuck spots. So at this point, I'm just kind of trying to decide what my surface is going to be, and I ended up going with this one. I didn't want it to be quite as wide as it was, so took off some of the width, and yeah, I'm trying all the things. I don't know where I wanted to go yet, but here I'm trying something else, and in the end I go with that little piece of paper. That actually came from another little notebook. It was lined paper, I think, if I remember right, but after tea dyeing it, a lot of the lines kind of went away, and some of the blue from the lines ended up being part of the tea dye, like part of the color of the paper now. So I love it when that happens. That's really cool. So anyway, I'm kind of turning that into kind of a little booklet, I guess, that I'm gonna tuck into that tuck spot. Here is, again, some transparency ephemera, I believe also from, I got that from Joann's. So I think that was maybe the Joann's brand, or maybe Tim Holtz. I can't remember off the top of my head. but I didn't catch the brand, the packaging on that. But I found it at Joann's if you're interested. So yeah, so gonna just ink around all the edges of here. I always hate doing these little picture frames because they're kind of flimsy and they're hard to edge. I don't know if you guys have the same problem as I do on those, but kind of eyeballing here. I think I got it centered. It looks pretty centered to me. Anyway, I'm fine with it. So, and I didn't mean to do this, but I managed to get that piece of pink paper the exact width that I needed for inside that frame. It just happened to work out for me that way. So I was like, yep, we're going to go with this. And then I wasn't even about to try and glue those transparencies down. I think that would be not ending well. So I just took one staple and did a staple to hold both of them to that little booklet thing there. And now it's a little tricky to get it back into the tuck spot because it's a little bit tight still, but as time goes on and it's being used, that'll loosen up a little bit and get easier. But so there's the journaling card for that side. I felt like this page, it just needed a little bit more of a different color to kind of, I don't know, offset all the pink and purple. So went to my Sari Silk Scraps jar and found this kind of mossy green color and just added that there. And then also this little roll of washi tape came in one of those boxes also. And it's really thin and just kind of has like a purple floral pattern running through the middle of it. It's really sweet. And I thought that would be a really good addition as well. So just adding that kind of to my little collage there at the bottom. And then, yeah, making this as good as I possibly can. It's still a little fiddly to get back in there, but I figured it out after a while. So, all right, now moving on to the other side and the journaling card for that. The base is actually some packaging from one of the Your Creative Studio boxes, Ephemera. So to the back of that, I pasted some packing paper, brown packing paper, so matches really well with our base material for the whole journal. And I love that it's kind of wrinkly too. It's maybe not good for fountain pens to write on, but if you don't care about fountain pens, or you know, if you use gel pens for your journaling like I do, it'll be great. And actually I've used fountain pens on that before too. It just kind of depends on the ink that you have that you're trying to use, and then obviously the size of your nib. If it's an extra fine nib, it might not work as well, but anyway, long story short, covering up some of the packaging words there and kind of creating my own little tag, thing at the top to kind of label a label. That's the word I was looking for. And then at the bottom there, I decided that thing would make a really great tuck spot for this whole little journaling card. Plus, it hid the packaging wording at the bottom too. So I just slipped in a piece of notepad paper that had been tea dyed, and then I just cut that in half. And then going back up to the top, working back on that little label, I felt like it needed some blank space so that you could actually write something in there and label your journaling card. I think the little word there says note from, again, another piece from one of Your Creative Studio boxes. And there's Oliver joining me as always. These stickers here came from the Your Creative Studio box. I felt like it needed a little something extra at the top again, getting some more of that color back in, and then adding a tab, which also came in that same Your Creative Studio box. So again, trying to keep that whole theme going together in this whole little journal. So making sure I distress all the edges before I put that tab in there, and then I'm going to sew around the entire perimeter of that journaling card. Alright, so this is the end of this journal. I went ahead and in 3 sections I've added some blank tea-dyed papers to be used for journaling. And so we have ourselves an actual journal, junk journal. So here is that little tuck spot there, and then this journaling card. And what did I miss on this side? Nothing here, but you can journal here if you want, or put a photo or something. Obviously the front of the whole journal has this, which you can journal on as well. Oh, and I added some buttons here to the front. So there's that. And then you can flip it here. And again, I've added some paper, tea-dyed papers to the middle for some journaling space or photos or what have you. Another journaling card. Here was the more sewing themed ephemera from your creative studio. Some little things in there. This ended up being a big pocket for the other side here. So little tag on that, and then here is a look at the back side of that tag. And open that pocket and you've got another journaling card there. I love how it flips from the bluish purple to the pinkish purple. And then I've thrown in things like this green here from this sari silk. So this now is the one that we just finished. So I won't pull this all out again, but I did add paper here as well. So there are 3 signatures essentially, small signatures. Let me count the number of pages here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2. So 10, well, 5 sheets of paper that turns into 10 sides, and then times 2 for front and back would be 20 pages each signature. And then here was that last journaling card with even more paper to write on. So hello Oliver. How are you today? So that is going to be it for this journal, and I will have it available for sale in my Etsy shop if you are interested. Closure for this is a really pretty purple sari silk that matches perfectly with the cover. So that just wraps around like that, and then you can tie it in a bow. And then I made sure and left plenty of room for the journal to expand if it had to do that. So there we go. All right guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.